Hi everyone, it's Kelly from Kelly's Bead Boutique. So today I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful pair of chandelier earrings by making your own form out of wire. So come and join me and I'll show you how. So for this project I'm going to be using some 18 gauge craft wire. I'm going to be using a couple little links of chain, and that's about 1 inch on each piece. I have a small jump ring, a little decorative bead, a bead cap, a beautiful piece of check glass, an ear wire, and a head pin that has a little ball on the end. And for tools today, you'll need a ruler, and I've got a 5/8 inch dowel. You can use just about any size, but that was the size that I chose for this project. And I'm going to use our 4 basic tools, and I'll put a link below on how to use all of those tools. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the end of my wire is flush cut. And I don't know if you can tell on camera, I'll try and put it on my finger there, but this one has a little bit of a peak on it, so it looks kind of like that. That means that it has not been flush cut. So I'm going to take the flat side of my cutters, I'm going to come in on the top, and I'm just going to put my thumb over because that little piece goes flying. Move that out of the way. And now you can see, hopefully, that has a nice flat cut on there. So we want to make sure that we have a flush cut to start with and one to end with. So I need exactly 2.5 inches on this. So what I'm going to do is just straighten out my wire, and I'm going to place it at the 2.5 mark, and I just sort of guide it with my thumb, or measure it with my thumb, and then I cut it, and then I cut it again after. I'm not one for using Sharpies all the time. So so that one is exactly 2.5 inches. I got really lucky on that one. So if you have to trim it a little bit, you're just going to make sure that you take your flush side and cut in a little bit. Okay, so now I want to form the little chandelier part of the earring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wire and place it between the jaws of the round nose pliers. I want to make sure that I don't have too much wire sticking out. It's just a little tiny bit there. So now I'm going to form it against my thumb. Our thumb is the strongest part of our hand, so you want to use that for a little bit of leverage. So I'm going to roll around like that, and then when it gets a little uncomfortable, I just reposition the pliers, and I make sure I put them back in the same spot, and I'm just rolling into my thumb. Do not look at my manicure. It is really bad today. I'm so busy trying to get ready for my trip to Tucson. I don't have time to take care of those things right now. All right, so now I'm going to turn around the other way, making sure that I'm going in the same direction that I went before. So I'm just going to put it towards the end, and I'm going to roll into my thumb, and when it starts to get uncomfortable, I reposition, making sure it goes right back to, it wants to slide around, but you want to make sure you go right back to where you started, and then roll into your thumb like that. So now I've created sort of a little barbell of sorts. Okay, so now I'm going to take my little dowel, and again, this is a 5/8 dowel, but you can use whatever you want. I'm just going to place that on top like that, and I'm going to pull this around and form it on top of the dowel. So when I get up here, I take my fingers and kind of pull tight. Now you can take your pliers and sort of reposition, go like that, and reposition over on this side, and you want to sort of pull them around. I want this to be nice and tight. And there we go. Now, if you found that this wasn't laying flat, you could take a bench block like this, and you could use a plastic mallet and just kind of flatten it down. And what that'll do also is that'll help work harden it so it'll stay in the shape that you want it to. Okay, so now let's create the rest of the earring. So I've got 2 pieces of chain about 1 inch long each, and I'm going to attach these to the top of the little chandelier piece. So I'm just going to open that up just like a jump ring. I want to open it up this way. I never want to open it that way because it'll break the neck. And I'm just going to put that first link through there, and then I'm going to close that up. And I'm always taking time to make sure things are nice and neat and closed up tightly. And repeat on the opposite side. If you can hear all the traffic, it's because it's 7 a.m. and I'm right on a highway, so it's busy out there, but I have to get these things done when I got the time. Okay, so now I'm just going to open up my jump ring. And again, always open your jump ring that way, never that way. And I'm going to just dangle these down so that they're sort of falling in the natural way that they should fall. And then what I do is I grab one side and then just grab the other side. and then that'll line up just exactly the way that you want it to. Now I'm going to close this up nice and tight, and then I'm going to add my ear wire on the top. It doesn't really matter which side you go in because it's sort of got two sides there. Okay, so now we've got the little base of our chandelier created. So now I'm just going to add the decorative part. So I'm going to place our check glass bead. I love this one. It's a little starburst, so pretty. And I've got a small little bead cap, and this will be a kit available, and I'll have a link down below. So if you want to try this yourself, we'll have everything you need to make your own. So now I'm just going to do a wrapped loop. So I'm going to bring my chain nose pliers right above there, and I'm going to give a bend away, and then come in with my round nose pliers, and I'm going to go up and over and down, rotate my pliers, pull that wire to the back, and then I just make sure everything's nice and lined up, and then I'm going to come right on top and just pop that in there and go over top of the circle. And I always make sure that this part is on the top. It makes it easier for wrapping. Grab the end of my pliers. Now I use pliers on this particular one versus my fingers because this is a really heavy duty head pin. And give that a few nice little wraps. And then come in with your cutters. Give that a little snip. And then I always want to come in and try and tuck that little burr down. So I just find the very end of it right there, and I'm just gently pushing it in. I don't want to change the whole structure of this. So I'm just going to finish the second one off camera, and I'll be right back. So there you go. There's our beautiful chandelier earrings. If you want to make these for yourself, we do have them in kit form, and I will have that linked below. If you don't happen to have a 5/8 inch mandrel, just use a Sharpie or something like that. You may have to make the length of the wire just a little bit shorter, but you can experiment a little bit with it. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like it. Please subscribe to my channel, and please leave me a comment. I love to hear from everybody. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.